Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 157 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. It is Saturday, April 15th, 2023, and it's a nice day out now. It was kind of a little cooler, humid, and raining this morning, but now late afternoon it's quite nice. Although the clouds are coming up again, but it's almost supper time, so we're tucked in for the day. It doesn't matter. So if you're a new viewer, thank you so much for coming by to check me out. Hope you like it here. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back for another week to see what I've been up to and see what I've accomplished with my knitting and other stuff for the week. I'm so happy to have you back again. I appreciate everyone that pops by to watch any of the nonsense and shenanigans I'm posting about, or listening to me ramble for usually 20 minutes to a half an hour every week. So happy to have everyone here. So, it's been a busy week. Next week is going to be very relaxing, but I'll talk more about that towards the end. I'm having a cup of what I'll call iced tea, but technically it's just my tea from this morning that I didn't finish, and now it's cold. So, I don't use cream or sugar, so my tea can sit there and it's fine. I'll come back to it. Actually, right now I'm coming back to it almost 9 hours later. Anywho, still tastes good. So this week I have a finished object to show you, and I have progress on 2 of my whips. And I've refrained from casting anything else on. I really want to continue working on my 2 existing whips in between Sock Madness rounds. So without further ado, here they are. My Sock Madness round 3 socks are done. I qualified and I'm moving ahead to round 4 in Sock Madness. So these are the Socks of Little Brain, and it's a pattern by Anne Rutgrink. And it is, I just bumped the tripod leg. My bad, sorry. So these socks were a lot of fun to knit, but for me they were sort of a slow knit. It has a boatload of beads on it, as I showed you last week. You can see all these little cute little beads on here. You did the cuff, added some of the beads, then you did this portion, this top portion here on the collar of this little sweater. That was done, this part was done flat. Then you joined the collar to the cuff, and then you knit down here, added in the beads. There's a little balloon here. These are all of these things in the socks play homage to Winnie the Pooh. And then you kept going till you did the little ribbing, and then you went back and you picked up stitches, went back to your main color, and then knit down the rest of the leg, did the heel, and down the foot. I found these little honeycomb stitches hard on my hands, especially doing the little Y part here and the what they called the A stitch in here. I found them a little bit hard on my hands, just the way you had to maneuver my hands and my wrists, and they slowed me down. It didn't help that my yarn is also a little bit splitty. Oh, I didn't bring the tag over when I didn't write down the name of the yarn. I think it was Huntington from Webb's. This color was Sunset, and this color was light gray heather, I believe. If I have those wrong, all the yarn information is on my project page, which I will link down in the description. So I used 2.25 millimeter needles, which are my typical go-to needles for any of the socks that I'm knitting. So these I finished on Wednesday morning, quite early in the morning. I think I was done by about 8 or 8:30 in the morning, and got all the ends are woven in, got them submitted, and they were accepted and approved. And as I mentioned, I'm moving on to the next round of Sock Madness. I'm just going to pop those there for now. So the next round of Sock Madness will be starting sometime in the upcoming week. This round technically can run until about 1 or 1:30 in the afternoon on Monday, Eastern time zone in the US. Unless everyone finishes sooner, but we're already Saturday supper time, and we have, I think there's still 14 or 16 people across all the teams that are, there's 14 or 16 spots still open for people from various teams to move ahead to the next round. So it might go until Monday early afternoon. It might finish a bit earlier. It all depends. And with weekend knitting, there might be some people that are getting across the finish line in the next day or so. We shall see. Although I am kind of hoping that, sorry, I think I have a hair or something on my face, or fluff or something. Allergies are haywire with all the pretty flowers and trees all in bloom. Pollen levels are through the roof, and my sinuses are not happy with me, but so be it. So I'm kind of hoping that this round does finish early so that the specs for the next round come out by early afternoon on Monday. I know it's wishful thinking, but the hubby and I are going to be out of town for most of the week coming up. I'll talk more about that at the end. So I really would like to have the specs come out before we leave. Otherwise, I'll be taking a lot of yarn with me. So again, I'll talk a little bit more about our travel plans and things like that in a little bit. But I managed to get a good amount of work done on my existing 2 works in progress. So one of those is my Rachel top. That's a pattern by Veronica Job. And I made some progress on it. I'm now have this much done from the armhole separation up the front, and I've knit from this marker upwards. So I did work on my Sock Madness socks until Wednesday morning, so I've actually only had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to work on other stuff, but I did add a fair bit on here. And right now I think I have 3.5 more repeats of the lace pattern to do on the front, and then I start to do the shaping for the neckline and the shoulders, and then it'll be on to the back. And then there's 10 of the lace pattern repeats to do up the back, and then the similar neck and shoulder, back of the neck and shoulder shaping, then join, do the sleeves, and we're done. So I am really hoping to get that done in the next, hopefully, few weeks. I'm hoping to have it done at the latest. I want it done by the end of May. Sooner would be fantastic, but I'm hoping to have it done by the end of May. My other work in progress is living in this project bag from Moonstone Dye Works. And these are my April toe-up sort of shorty socks. And these I also got a decent amount of progress done on them since last week. I have added from the marker here upwards. So I'm now at the point where I have finished all of the increasing for the gusset, and I'm ready to switch to the bare yarn to do the heel turn and the heel flaps. So I'm set and ready to do that. I'm going to get started on that probably this evening. Haven't decided if I'll work on that tonight or if I'll work on my Rachel top. I haven't decided. Depends on what we decide to pick for a movie, whether it's something more mindless or less mindless. Will help me decide which one of these patterns I work on. So 2 whips with a nice amount of progress and a finished object from this week. So I'm happy with that progress. It was a busy week at work. I had a couple meetings and things where I had to be on campus. Typically in the spring semester I work remote. All my classes are online. Everything is online this semester for me, so I'm rarely on campus. But I did have a meeting over the lunch hour on Wednesday, which went really well. And so that chewed up some of my time. And then I also today we had an open house on campus for potential students that were interested in coming to our campus, wanted tours of campus, met up with any of the faculty from departments they were interested in, majors they were interested in, all that stuff. So I was there with my sidekick from work, and we were able to meet with some prospective students, so that was really nice. And I was at church this afternoon with a group of ladies for a thing that we do about once a month. There's a group of us that get together and have a study together, so that was nice. But I didn't get back home until it's about 3:30, 4 o'clock this afternoon, and we were gone before 8 in the morning. So it's been a long day already. It's going on supper time. So yesterday the hubby and I went out to a nearby pond or a reservoir. It's a nice quiet area where a lot of people go and do a lot of kayaking and canoeing there. They do not allow motorized boats of any sort on the lake. So everything it's all with oars and paddles, no motors. So the hubby has a little inflatable kayak that he likes to go out on the lake with, and I'm perfectly happy to pop up my lawn chair and sit and knit while he's putzing around on the lake. I think I'll add a little blurb in here. I videotaped a little bit of what the view looked like from where I was sitting. It was really pretty. Before we went to the reservoir, we went to, there's a quilting fabric sewing shop that's not far from where the reservoir is, and it's about a 20-minute, probably about a 20-minute drive from our place to both this sewing place and the reservoir. But at the sewing place recently they have added a little cafe. So we went there and had a couple Diet Cokes and a couple muffins and had ourselves a little treat. I spent a bit of time looking around at some of the fabric, bought myself a little charm pack with 5-inch squares. I think there's 42 5-inch squares, and all in floral blues and yellows. So I'm thinking about what I want to make for myself. I think I probably am going to do a couple project bags for myself with a little bit of light quilting on it. because the pieces will be small enough that I'm going to be able to do that easily. I'll be able to do that easily with just my regular sewing machine. So I got that, and then we went to the reservoir for a while. And after we were done there, we went to this little pizza restaurant, or an Italian restaurant. We had pizza there for supper. It's so good. We don't go there often. They do what they call a meat stuffed pizza, and it's so good. It's a layer of dough, a little bit of sauce. They're very light on the sauce, which I like. And then it's all the typical toppings you'd have on like a meat lovers type pizza, and all the mozzarella cheese. And then there's a layer of crust on top, and then they cook the whole thing. And it is so good. So we ordered one of those. We had a few pieces we brought home to have for supper tonight. We picked up some fixings to make a salad to go with it, because it wasn't quite enough pizza for us to be filling enough for supper alone. So we thought we'll have that and a salad for supper. So looking forward to that. That'll be yummy. And this week coming up, since we were not able to go away and do anything during my regular spring break time, we thought, well, why don't we just wait and go and have a little getaway after, or before the semester's over, but not during spring break. So we ended up, we'd gone to the same place a little over a year ago, and stayed at these cabins. It's just down in West Virginia. It's only about a 45-minute, probably not quite, between 45 minutes to an hour drive from our place. So it's close, it's easy to get to. So we rented a cabin for part of the week. We're gonna head down on Monday, and we'll be back home on Friday. So we've got somebody keeping an eye on the place for us while we're away, but we're going to have a little getaway. So that's why I'm kind of hoping that the specs for round 4 come out soon, because then I'll know what to take with me while we go. Otherwise, I am going to have to take a lot more yarn. I'm going to have to take yarn that's suitable for the 4 possible patterns that are left to come out. So I really hope the specs come out first, but I'm not holding my breath because I really don't think they will. I think I am going to have to take a bunch of yarn with me, which is fine. We're driving, so it's no big deal to put a bunch of yarn in my suitcase. I don't pack a lot of anything else, so there's plenty of room in my suitcase for lots of yarn. And I will take my Swift. I have one of those Amish tabletop Swifts that are just like the 2 wooden bars and the little stands, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. And I'll take my ball winder also. Can't describe it without cranking. Anyway, so I will take my Swift and my ball winder with me, and a bunch of yarn, so that I'm ready for any possibility. And my needles and my notions and all that regular stuff as well. So I will be ready to cast on the round 4 socks whenever the pattern comes out. I will be spending a goodly amount of my time working on both my April socks and my Rachel top. And we don't have anything else planned. My husband has set a goal that he wants to nap at least twice each day we're there, which I think is a very lofty goal. More power to him. I hope, go for it. And I plan on getting myself an audiobook, plugging in my ears, and happily knitting for the better part of most of the time. We're not setting alarms, we're just going to relax and unwind. Things have been very busy for my husband the last few weeks leading up to Easter and everything that surrounds that for someone who's a pastor. It's kind of a busy time of year for him. So he plans on spending a lot of time relaxing. We are planning on we're not far from Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, and I think I talked about this a year ago when we went there before, and they have a cat cafe where it's basically a house that's full of cats that are available for adoption. Now, I can't adopt a cat because the hubby's allergic to them, sadly. So I'm going to spend part of the day, probably on Wednesday, visiting the cat cafe. Hubby's gonna go to a regular coffee cafe, have himself a snack or a treat, and happily sip his coffee and listen to an audiobook or read for a good part of the day. I'm gonna go visit the kitty cats. And we'll probably spend a goodly amount of time in the kitten room, because they have a room specifically devoted to what they call the kittens and teenagers. So any of the cats that are under a year old. And that is such a fun place. So we are planning on going there for one of the days. And what I am planning on doing is I plan to take my camera with me, and I plan to do a little bit of vlogging while I'm there. I doubt that I will post something each day, although I might. Or I might save it and post everything when I get home. Now that I'm mentioning it, maybe I will do a little vlog thing each day. I don't expect that there's going to be lots to film while I'm there, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It's a fairly remote place. Where our cabin is, looks like there's not really too many other cabins right close to us, so it's kind of private. There is a screened in sun porch, and it has one of those nice glass top big round tables, like a patio kind of table, 4 big comfy looking chairs. The plan is to sit out there every morning with a coffee for the hubby, tea for me, and just sit and do nothing. The other thing we might spend a fair bit of time doing is, we heard some comedian, or I don't remember where we heard it originally, but this person was saying what they wanted to do when they retired was to sit on the beach and sit and listen to their beard grow. We're gonna do that this week. We're going to sit there and listen to John's beard grow. He doesn't have a beard, but he will not be shaving while they're there, so we're going to listen to his whiskers grow. So that's about the pace we're looking for. So I plan on, as I said, I plan on spending time with my knitting and audiobooks. I am taking my laptop, so I will be able to keep up with school things. I am planning to have all my grading caught up before we leave, so that I don't have to worry about doing any of that while we're there. And I will be checking my email 3 or 4 times during the day, just in case anyone is panicking about anything. We're 2 weeks away from final exams, so some of the students do tend to get a little bit tightly wound about now, although probably the other half of them are just checked out and they're done. They're tired, they're finished. I think everyone at school is at that point right about now. So those are my plans. Like I said, I do plan on vlogging during the week. Now that I talk about it, I think I will post each day. Maybe I'll put the first post up Tuesday morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday mornings maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Stick around. If you haven't yet, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you'll see when I post anything new, like a vlog this week coming up. And yeah, I'm so excited for this getaway. I really am so excited for it. So I will definitely be doing a lot of knitting and relaxing and listening to the hubby's whiskers grow. On that note, I think that was all I was going to tell you about. If there was anything else I've forgotten, I will show you on Monday or Tuesday. When I'm doing my vlogging, I will show you Monday or Tuesday what I packed yarn-wise and all my notions and all those goodies. I will show you all of that on Monday or Tuesday. And I'll update you with what we're doing during the week. Might just be some of the scenery around there. I don't know. We shall see. So on that note, I should let you go, and I will see you guys again very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.